Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network. Over 100,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
Everybody in podcast land, welcome to the Sports Podcast. I'm Joel Anderson.
I'm Jordan Pomaville.
And joining us as always, the Sports Outsiders, Phil Ranta.
Hey, don't take my echo. That's mine from Weird Sports.
Okay, you
don't steal my echo. I own the echo.
You don't own all echoing.
Oh,
Phil.
yeah, I do. Every time a kid falls down a well, he has to pay me royalties. That's right.
Only if he talks.
Only if he talks, yeah.
Puts
As
down
long
the
as he
well.
knows how to keep his mouth shut.
Stay out of trouble.
Which is always the last thing I say before I push a
that's
child
how
down a well. You'll be all right as long as you know how to keep your mouth shut.
Okay. So, Phil.
Yes.
Catch any games this week?
No. I didn't.
Nothing?
I didn't make it to the television, the ESPN.
Is that because you were climbing Mount Baldy on your bicycle? Like you
No,
said you were
no,
going
I
to in
didn't.
the
I
last
didn't get
episode?
around to that either. I actually didn't play any
Whoa,
sports this
whoa.
week either.
I thought this was an episodic podcast, not a serialized podcast. I'm not ready for these carryover
all
plot
right.
lines.
Yeah. I was supposed to climb a hill. I was supposed to climb Mount Baldy in a bike.
Yeah.
Didn't get around to it because I have to live my life. The end.
There it goes. Well, just goes
Previously
to show.
on Sports Podcast.
Don't badmouth the Tour de France, which kicked off, folks. Fabian Cancellara in yellow after winning the prologue.
What? I don't know what any of that means.
Cancellara, he's a Swiss bicycle rider, and he's in first place right now by about 7 seconds.
But you said in the last one it didn't matter who's in first in the early days.
Well, it doesn't, but it's still kind of cool to be in the yellow jersey.
All right.
Fabian Cancellara's not going to win the Tour de France, so he's sure enjoying this right now.
I actually typed his name into Google, and Google said, "Did you mean anyone else?"
This is the second time that he's held yellow after winning the prologue, guys. So he's kind of a big
The
cyclist.
prologue insinuates that it's before the sport kicks off.
You know, and I actually had a conversation with my friend Patrick about this because I was like, wait, do these times actually count towards the final results? He's like, yeah. I'm like, well, why do they call it the prologue then?
Yeah.
They do.
After after it's over, is there an episode 2 where they're like, this guy went on to become a street vendor
Yeah.
in Paris?
No, there's no
France.
epilogue. There's just a prologue.
Lance Armstrong was married to Sheryl Crow, and
Until he wasn't.
that's true.
Yeah.
True. I had a reading comprehension test once in a French class, and it was right when they had that bitter. It was, or was the other wife he had a really ugly divorce with, right? Before he
Because
started
of
dating.
Sheryl Crow?
Yeah,
It could be.
I don't know. One of it.
Every
The
day
man's
is
got
basically-
almost as many divorces as he does Tour de France championship.
Yeah.
It was
Woo!
it was an exam, and the whole reading comprehension was about how great their marriage was,
Oh.
and it was right when they got a divorce. So it was pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
Good story.
Irony comprehension.
Those. All right. Well, so Phil did not watch any sports, did not climb Mount Baldy.
Nah, I mostly sat around.
Yeah.
I drank beer on the 4th of July.
So
That's
did
kind
I.
of like a sport.
I had some simpler times.
Simpler times.
Did you guys know there's both a Simpler Times Lager and a Simpler Times Pilsner?
I bet they both taste like water.
They both taste pretty similar. I did not know there was two
They
different types.
taste really good for $3 for a 6-pack.
Oh, they
Oh,
sure
for that,
shit do.
everything tastes good.
Yeah.
Swamp water tastes good for $3 for a 6-pack.
Well, let's not get carried away.
I do not like simpler times.
Somehow I like to just sit back and think
Yeah.
about simpler times. You know,
For its price, Simpler Times is an exceptional beer.
Yeah.
An exceptional beer.
If you like to drink snail jism, then yes.
Well, again, at 50 cents a can, it's...
Well, sure.
All right. Well, hey, Jordan, what do we have on the docket?
well, today we have in the decade,
Okay.
we have a big time guest,
Oh.
the mayor of the Olympic Village.
Oh.
Really? Like the one in the London?
London, they set up a village for the athletes to live, and they feed them, and they lodge them.
Now, it's international competition, so I'm guessing he's not British.
He is not British.
Okay.
Wow.
That's interesting. That's going to be part of our weekly Olympic Countdown Watch Update.
That is correct.
Update Watch Countdown. Those three words in some combination, that's what we call it.
Yeah. And so we have that. We have the What's More Racist.
Are we sure?
We're going to do a segment called What's More Racist?
Okay, why?
Well, because
What does that have to do with sports?
Because topically, like about 6 weeks ago, Adidas came out with these sneakers. Sneakers
it's
are
already
used,
getting racist.
right? That had shackles attached to them,
That's not
like
racist.
plastic shackles. Well, hold up.
All right.
You'll have your turn.
Okay.
You'll all get your chance.
All right, fine. I'm just saying that inherently that's not racist.
All right, and then we have the one other thing I wanted to talk about that was not on the docket, but not really a sport, is a sports competition, the hot dog eating contest.
Oh,
Nathan.
For a 6th straight year, an American, Joey Chestnut,
Yes.
has taken home the mustard belt.
Nice.
Nice.
Now, was there controversy again this year? Because I know Kobayashi is in the midst of some big hullabaloo.
Last year, he cried and did it at like his own bar somewhere else that was not. I don't know. He had some sort of thing where he wasn't participating in Major League eating. He was on some different circuit,
Real competitors don't cry.
right?
They get off of their high horse and they eat some hot dogs.
He was not
Here's-
even there this time. I didn't
Here's a
even
little-
hear about
here's a
him
little
being
tip
somewhere
to
else.
the eating people out there. If you're, say, I don't know, boxing, a sport that's got a long history, you can almost get away with the sort of splinters and divisions that they have. If you're Major League eating, a sport that people watch like maybe once a year,
Yeah,
like,
that's
no.
accurate. Maybe
Get,
once
Yeah.
get
Unless
in
you
the
count
same
man
tent
versus
there,
food.
guys. Yeah,
If you count Man versus Food, I watch it quite a bit.
Man versus Food is no longer making new episodes.
Right. Now they have Man versus Food Nation, though.
That's over too. It's now America's Best Sandwich.
No.
Yeah. No,
Oh,
Adam
jeez.
Richmond just basically did that show long enough so he could make a Diners, Drives, and Dives clone for the Travel Channel.
Oh, jeez.
That's all the end game was. I know. I feel cheated
I wanted
too.
him to die with pork in his mouth.
Right. And here's the thing. On Man vs. Food Nation, when he stopped doing the eating challenges,
Yeah.
did we notice a dip in weight? Because I didn't.
No.
Looked still like the same hefty
A little
dude.
bit of chub on him.
Have I mentioned that I don't have cable anymore, guys?
Oh,
Is
I'm
that-
sorry.
Oh, spoiler alert.
Yeah. You'll catch up on the DVDs someday.
At some point, yeah. I will get the full season of Man vs. Food and Man vs. Food Nation.
Right, right.
But the big news,
Yeah.
Steve Nash, a
Oh,
Los
yes.
Angeles Laker.
Yeah.
What is...
Wow. Steve Nash of the Phoenix Suns, is it 3-time or 2-time league MVP Steve Nash?
Not sure, Joel.
Okay.
Don't watch a lot of Phoenix Suns
At
basketball.
least twice.
He's Canadian?
Wait, he's a basketball player from Canada?
You betcha.
How do they dribble in the snow?
He's the basketball player from Canada.
Yeah.
let's be
Oh, there's
clear.
only one.
But he's had a long and
yeah.
storied career. Everyone says he's a humble, really nice guy. And he's toward the end of his career. He's like in his, I believe, his mid-30s.
Yeah,
And
still
now
doesn't have a ring.
doesn't have the ring. And it don't mean a thing till you get the ring.
Right. I mean, nobody must like him because they didn't put a ring on it.
Yeah.
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 But now here's the thing now, Steve Nash, long beloved, humble, wonderful athlete, going to go play with Kobe and the Lakers. I think everyone's going to hate him.
Classic heel turn.
Classic heel
Oh,
turn.
he's going to grow out the mustache, start wearing tight black t-shirts.
Yep, absolutely.
It's
But
going to happen. Is he going to change his name to like Destructo Nash?
Not off the table.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Just
I-
checking on it.
I would vote yes. I think that's just a good idea in general.
I
But
think that every athlete should have wrestler names. That's just me.
that was
It'd make it way
part of
more
the
fun.
premise of the what was it, the XFL?
Yeah.
Which was what's his bucket?
Vince
football
McMahon.
League. Yeah, Vince McMahon, who filled in once, and I thought was kind of rude in the way that he
Oh,
described
you
our
think
show.
Vince McMahon is rude?
I thought Vince McMahon said
Kind
some
of his
disparaging
thing, Joel.
things.
I think he's a
Kind of his
rude
thing.
dude. He is
There
one
we go.
rude dude.
His catchphrase is "You're fired."
That's
he's like
Donald.
Donald
That's Donald
Trump?
Trump's catchphrase.
No, he had it way before Donald Trump
You're
did.
fired.
Right.
You're
But
fired.
Vince McMahon goes, "You're fired."
Either way, I'm just saying, let's not have him back on the show because he
right.
really,
He did hurt
really
some feelings
yeah,
of
he hurt
Joel's.
some feelings.
But Steve
So-
Nash.
Steve Nash,
Joel.
now a Laker. Yes. So we do have an ad here for a book that we think is specifically a good book for Steve Nash to pick up.
Oh.
So
okay.
why don't we play the tape?
Sure.
Now, from Herbie and Ballstein Publishing, the new book, Taking Your Talents to South Beach, a guide for the universally loved athlete transitioning into a universally reviled athlete. This book details precisely what you, a multimillionaire, should expect after making a decision to betray a loyal fan base in pursuit of more money and/or fall victim to a debilitating scandal. Find out how to remain completely oblivious to public opinion. Ignore loud boos at opposing stadiums. Let your money fill the emptiness in your soul. Make meaningless public apologies that no one buys. But don't just listen to me, listen to these incredible testimonials. I took this book with me to South Beach. Man, that line never gets old. LeBron James. I never sold out the Cubs, but I did sell out my race. Throw in a losses of ability and a steroid controversy, and this book might as well have been my Bible. Sammy Sosa. I didn't know dogfighting from dodgeball before I read this book. Michael Vick. I can't text everyone a picture of my penis, so I have to settle for the lessons I learned in this book. Brett Favre. It used to bother me that everyone in America started hating me, but with this book, I've managed to block all that out and just focus on expensive living and cheap women. Tiger Woods. My, what a cavalcade of stars. So, call now and get another book thrown in as a bonus. Along with your copy of Taking My Talents to South Beach, you will receive a hardcover of Underdog, the Michael Vick story. So call now! Sports, 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 sports.
The 2012 Olympics Update Watch Countdown. Brought to you by the Cleveland Indians.
Sports. All right, what do we have in Olympic coverage this episode?
Oh boy, do we have a guest.
Oh, that's right, we do.
A
He's sitting
mayor.
right here.
The mayor
The mayor.
of the Olympic Village in London.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the mayor of London.
No.
No,
that would be a
that's
hell
a
of a
common misconception. I'm
Okay.
not the mayor of London. I'm the mayor of the fastest growing city inside of London, the Olympic Village.
Well, that's
Oh,
great.
it's-
Your name is Glenn Solarski?
Glenn Zalarsky.
Well, it's great to meet you. It's
Great
great to have you on the show.
Glenn.
It's a pleasure to be here. It's my first mayorship.
Yeah.
I was never elected in the office, and I'm very pleased that I was selected to run this fine town.
Yeah.
Well, tell us a little bit about this town.
Well, what's there not to tell? Well, it was founded in 2012. It's what we consider a newer village.
yeah.
Have you ever played the game Sim City?
Completely,
Yeah,
yes.
I love
yeah.
SimCity.
It's kind of like that, except we set up one residential zone. We set up a bunch of commercial zones around it. And then the commercial zone just sprung up, so we tore down the residential zone, put in another commercial zone. That's our town.
All right.
That's a really okay.
where you
I'm
put it
still
in.
working through that in my
Yeah.
mind.
Glenn, you sound American, Glenn.
I am. Konnichiwa.
That's
Hola.
That's those
I'm from all countries. I'm from everywhere and nowhere, just like the Olympic Village.
Oh,
It's something
okay.
we coined a phrase. We call it a melting pot.
I don't
Well,
know.
you didn't really.
It's a
coin-
melting pot because we have a bunch of colors of people that all mixed together. Makes a
People have been saying
beautiful
that about
rainbow.
America, though.
Make a beautiful darkish stew, I would imagine.
Yeah.
That's racist.
that is. We'll get to that later.
Okay,
Solarski.
all right. No. But you know what? This village is growing fast.
Yeah?
Yep, just like every village, we had 17,000 people move in its first week of existence. Do you know at this
impressive.
growth rate, we are going to be the largest city in the entire universe in 2084?
I did not know
That's
that.
including other planets. We've done the math.
Glenn, you can possibly know what the size of cities and other planets are.
We can guess. We know scientists.
But also, I don't know that you can actually project out that growth rate. I don't know if that's sustainable.
Nope, 17,000 people every week. That's what we've had so far.
Right, but you're
Yeah,
on
but-
say 100 acres or something like
Yeah,
that.
we've noticed this growth trend though, and really, if you don't have data, what are you gonna back yourself
Yes,
on?
but
right?
your sample size, Glenn, is clearly too small. You have one.
Look,
week.
we can all sit here and argue about classes that I got D's in college, or we could talk about my wonderful village.
Well, I'd like to hear more about the composition of your village in terms of where do people eat? Where do people live?
Oh, we've got some of the finest eateries.
Yeah?
Namely, one fine eatery.
Yeah.
It's called the Coca-Cola Hebrew National Hot Dog and Vendor Hut, brought to you by Mountain Dew and American Idol.
Is that what they're calling the cafeteria?
Well, yeah, it's a cafeteria, but it can be a fine dining restaurant. If you want to, you can get somebody to wear a tuxedo and bring the food over to a table. We've got plastic benches.
See, this is where I feel like it's less like a village and more like maybe like a college dormitory kind of
Oh,
setting.
no, Jordan. It takes a
Even that.
village to raise a child, not a college dormitory.
That phrase doesn't.
And we
doesn't
will
have any
raise
application.
children. At this population growth rate, people are going to have sex.
Yeah, I don't. Well, they're definitely gonna have sex, but I mean, let's be honest. You're not gonna be raising any.
Hey, did I tell you about our newspaper?
No, you did
You have a
not.
newspaper?
Yeah, we've got a newspaper. It's the Johnson & Johnson Press. Johnson & Johnson Olympic Press. We had a wonderful article on it last week about how delicious Coca-Cola is.
Okay. How often do you print your newspaper?
Well, we've had one thus far, but at this rate, we're going to be having one a
Okay.
week for eternity.
Well,
Yeah,
see, this
that-
is
In a
once
million
again-
years, we're going to have more newspapers printed than any publication on Earth.
Well, here's the thing, Glenn, because I know, and I agree with your projections, the data is accurate.
Yes.
But here's a statistical fact.
Okay.
The
I like
Olympics,
statistics.
The Olympics are going to be over in 3 weeks, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. You can't plan too much for the future as a mayor, Jordan.
No, it's true.
You can't do it. If you sit and
Did-
worry
didn't
about
you-
the
didn't
future.
You just tell us that you were planning for 2084 when you were going to be the biggest city in the universe.
No, I'm optimistic about the future. I can't sit and think about doom. We could all die of a bomb attack. That's
Whoa,
happened at the
whoa.
Olympics.
I
Yeah,
don't-
that's
I don't
not
think
something
you
you want to bring up.
Especially in
No.
the Olympic Village.
Yeah.
No, it won't happen. You know why?
Why?
'Cause it's gonna be sunny days. Sunny days in London town, right?
That
Our
sounds like
village is
projecting
right
right
in the
there.
heart of London.
Is that true?
Yep, London, some of the best weather on earth. The last 4 days been sunny, and therefore I'm projecting it's going to be sunny for the next million years.
It's Glenn. That's just London is not.
Never
gonna be
rains in
sunny.
London, that's what they say.
No, that's not at
No
all
one
what they
says
say. It's
that,
in fact
actually.
like the exact opposite of what people say about London.
Hey, we got a trash bin.
What?
Yeah, whole bunch of them.
Civic trash bins?
Yep, cleaned daily by janitors.
Again, this really doesn't sound like a village, Glenn. I mean, let's be honest. This is like a temporary dwelling that's not going to exist in a month.
You call it a temporary dwelling. I call it a thriving metropolis, just waiting to burst out of its metropolis egg.
That's just.
Hey,
What else about this is like a village?
hey, you want to know what else is like a village?
What?
We got a dragon.
Sorry,
What?
what?
Nope, we got our own dragon.
You have a dragon.
That
Yeah,
doesn't make
just
any
like
sense.
every other village. At this rate, if we get one dragon a week, we're gonna have 1 million dragons in the next
that's-
5 to
I'm
50,000
extremely
years.
dubious as to whether or not you actually have a dragon.
No, we got a dragon. You want to see my dragon? I brought it with me.
You brought the dragon into.
Well,
Phil's
sure. He
apartment?
likes to take walks. Here we go. Come on, dragon. Come. We call him Sprite.
I'll be
Sprite the
goddamn.
dragon.
I will be
The
goddamn.
thirst-quenching dragon.
That is terrifying. That is not at all what I thought a fire-breathing dragon would sound or look like.
No, he already ate one
Yeah.
person. At this rate, he'll eat the entire world by the year 4083.
Is that where Phil went?
Yeah.
Hey, Phil.
Oh, Phil is out playing with the dragon.
Hey, wait a second. I want to see. Hang on. Hey, Sprite. Do you want a Fresca?
Oh, no, you're sponsored by Sprite, dragon. Give that back. Sprite, although has more calories and more sugar, is more delicious. Oh, God, it's got my arm. Oh, no, it's beating me alive. At this rate, it'll eat me 1 million times in the next 200,000 years.
Jordan, open the window, Jordan. Open the window.
Bye, guys. It's been fun.
Well, that was the strangest interview we've ever had.
You know, that's why I don't like doing politics on this show.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Wicka wicka, what's more racist?
Wow, that wins. That's more racist.
Yeah, I don't know that we're going to be able to beat our intro there.
Is it that against everything else? Because that wins. You're a terrible person. That was Jordan. That wasn't me or Joel.
I was pretty sure that was Phil. You do all the intros. You have funny voices. I don't.
That was Phil. It was Phil.
New Adidas shackle sneakers ripped as symbolizing slavery.
Wait, say what?
Huh?
So Adidas came out with these new sneakers done by this famed designer.
Okay.
And they had these little plastic orange shackles attached to them that you would wear around your ankles.
Okay.
Okay.
And everyone came out and said, "This reminds me of slavery. This is terrible. Don't do this." And Adidas first came out and said, No, look, when we designed them, we weren't thinking about slavery. We were thinking about, what is it, My Little Monster?
My Pet Monster.
Right, that's what the guy referenced as is because they wore handcuffs. And everyone just said, nope, still not good enough. This is on Facebook. They're saying that. They're
Sure.
posting. They're not liking.
Oh, they're
And
dislike buttoning.
They're sharing with friends, but saying derogatory things.
Ooh.
And so then they came out and said, okay, they're not about slavery, but now we're not making them anymore.
Oh,
Yeah.
What the?
Yeah.
that's more racist.
But there are things in popular culture that exist that
Yeah.
are possibly more racist than that. Not intro to podcast bits,
Okay.
but things in popular culture. So let's ask, what's more racist, guys?
Okay.
Adidas shackle sneakers,
Sure.
Okay.
Uncle Ben.
Oh.
Ooh, Uncle Ben from the rice.
Well, I'm gonna have to say honestly, I don't think either is racist.
Okay, that's a fair answer.
I mean, here's the thing. Uncle Ben is really just a black guy selling rice.
Okay.
Like, I don't know why that. I guess there's certain cultural connotations, but I think if you take a
calling him
big step
uncle,
back,
Yeah,
but that comes from like he could just be someone's uncle. It doesn't have to mean some sort of similarity to Uncle Tom. And he's selling rice. I don't know that that's racist at all.
I think that Uncle Ben's incredibly racist because it's a wildly racist portrayal of an Asian man. I mean, if you think about it, like, I understand Asian people selling rice, not racist, right? But to show an Asian guy as an elderly black man, horribly racist.
I hadn't thought about it that way, Phil. Maybe you're right.
There we
Chief
go.
Wahoo.
Chief Wahoo definitely more racist.
Cleveland Indians mascot or logo on their cap. They wear this on their cap. Chief
All right,
Wahoo.
So for those of you who don't know,
They
Chief
know who
Wahoo,
it is.
Do they?
yeah,
this is a commonly
the
known
Cleveland Indians logo.
thing. Yeah,
it's
he's
been
got
their
a
logo
he's
for
got a red
literally
face, big
over
smile.
100 years. Incredibly racist.
So are we trying to figure out what's more racist, that or your intro
or the
shackle sneakers
Intro
or
not on the table.
Asian Uncle Ben?
Intro's not in the. That's a different separate.
Okay.
category.
I would say
I was
Chief
gonna say-
Wahoo easily the most racist thing that we've
Right.
talked
I
about
would
thus
say
far.
if the intro was on the table, it'd be the intro. But if not, no, you're right. Chief Wahoo.
I think Chief Wahoo outdoes the intro even.
I don't know. It's close.
The
I'll give it
intro
maybe a
was in
tie.
jest. Chief Wahoo has legitimately just been there as their mascot.
Chief
for
Wahoo's
over
in
a
jest
century.
though, does he come out as a big mascot and like stumble around on the ground?
They actually don't use that as a mascot anymore. Just the logo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Slight-
He's
slightly less
also
racist.
Chief Wahoo,
Right, because he's
and
excited.
the mascot
Wahoo!
itself is red. I'm sorry, but I mean, I know it's over 100 years of history for Cleveland, but Jesus, guys, at some point you really have to look at it and say maybe we should just
If you look at the old logos, they're even worse.
Yeah.
If you ever look back at the old,
Yeah.
they're incredibly.
Cleveland is actually really close to Sandusky, America's roller coast.
That's true. All right. Modern day Aunt Jemima.
Ooh,
Modern day Aunt Jemima.
For those of you who don't know modern day Aunt
Aunt
Jemima.
Jemima.
No, but modern day looks different than the elder day Aunt Jemima.
Oh, I don't think our listeners will necessarily be familiar with elder day Aunt Jemima. They might have to Google her.
Yes.
That's coming up. Don't worry. Modern day Aunt Jemima. She's on syrup.
Modern day Aunt Jemima, I'm gonna say not racist. Why can't a black woman sell syrup? I don't understand what would make that specifically racist.
Phil?
I think that Aunt Jemima is one of the most racist portrayals I've ever seen of a Canadian. I mean, Canadians, of course, a Canadian selling syrup, not weird, right? They've got lots of syrup up
Oh,
there.
definitely. Undoubtedly.
But to portray a Canadian as an elderly black woman?
Okay, there could easily be an elderly black woman from Canada.
Oh, now who's being racist, Joel?
You're
now
just
who's
assuming
being
that
racist?
Aunt Jemima isn't Canadian. Aunt
And
Jemima
there's no
could
way
very well
she's
be
Canadian.
She could definitely be Canadian. There's no,
No,
reason she can't
there's
be
no way
Canadian.
she's Canadian. Everyone knows Aunt Jemima's Mexican.
All right. What
All
else we
right.
got? All right.
All right. Now, old timey Aunt Jemima.
There it is.
Oh my gosh.
Ah.
That lapsed.
Hold on, there's text on the picture showing that
Why
says
don't you read it?
it says Lawsy, folks show cheer for fluffy, energizing Aunt Jemima pancakes, and there's lots of like apostrophe ends, and Lawsy is how it starts.
That is incredibly racist.
Yeah.
That's maybe that's an Aunt Jemima where I'd say probably not Canadian.
right.
She looks like a southern slave woman.
Yeah,
She looks like a house
that
slave.
one is driving very hard at a very specific stereotype, and the dialogue.
Yeah, the
very
dialogue sells it
stereotypical,
for me.
misspelled.
However, the
Yeah.
pancakes do look fluffy and delicious
And energizing.
and energizing. So
Yeah.
I would say that the pancakes not racist. Everything else about the picture very racist.
Yes, the pancakes are not the racist part of that picture.
Right.
And
I
finally,
agree.
and this is,
Astute observation.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's why we have you on the podcast.
Sure.
This is not specific to sports.
However, the butter on the pancakes, a little bit racist.
Okay.
A little bit racist
little
butter.
bit racist.
Yep.
This is my favorite example of something that is racist in American sports. Anytime someone brings up the Cleveland Indians, I bring up this because I think it's even worse. The Washington Redskins.
Yep.
Not the logo, but the fact that the team name in our nation's capital
name.
is a slur on a people
Yep.
that we took this land from.
Yep. I'm
So
going to go.
the racist part is the fact that it's called Redskins.
Correct.
Okay.
I'm
Let me
not
think about it.
entirely certain how racist the logo itself is.
The logo.
It appears that
Not
they've
a
done-
caricature.
Yeah. Because, I don't know, what is it, like the Seminoles made a big,
Very
Seminoles in Florida State are in cahoots at this point.
Yeah.
To have a more culturally sensitive and significant and
Well,
representative.
the Seminoles like it because it makes them the monies.
Well, yeah, that too. But also now they have people, like the Seminole mascot represents actual Seminole.
There's a team
Native
called the
American.
Semen Holes.
No, Seminole.
What? That's a weird name for a team.
Yes, I don't know why.
That's the red explicit tag there,
Yeah.
right there.
What?
We were going fine, talking about racism and society and
then we had to throw in
commentary.
semen
and-
holes.
Well, I'm gonna go. I will go out on a limb and say I think the Redskins as a name is very racist.
Yep, it's extremely racist. And what do you actually call a semen hole?
Huh?
It's,
What do I call a semen
No,
hole?
like you're on a submarine and you open the thing so that the semen can get out under the top of the submarine. What do you call that?
Stop!
that
You're
thing to
giving me
go
the
out of?
hugest direction right now.
Never been harder.
Yep.
Yes. All right. I would argue that the name the Redskins comes in worse than Chief Wahoo, not quite as bad as the original Aunt Jemima, as it would turn out. But yes, incredibly racist, and again, one that people just appear ready to overlook for the foreseeable future.
And this is also something Americans, I think, tend to overlook. But in Europe, I read a BBC story once. They pointed me out. Redskins' biggest rival.
the Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Ooh.
That is correct.
I guessed and I didn't
All
even
right.
know.
In fairness, they didn't necessarily plan it that way.
Right.
I have a
But-
feeling that Texas did. They
Yeah.
were just like, we need a rival. Let's get them Redskins.
Also,
Oil,
sometimes I
oil.
mean, the AFC East, they're all kind of rivals of each other to a certain degree.
Right.
but
I'm just saying, traditionally.
Cowboys. Wow, I hadn't even picked up on that.
Right? I didn't either until I
didn't
read
even
this
occur to
British
me.
story where they said, and the Redskins' biggest rival is the Cowboys. And then had a parenthetical, yeah, we're not joking. And I thought, why would they be? Oh, right. Ah.
Yeah.
Can I do one last what's more racist?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. The shoes with the shackles on them
Okay.
or Joel Anderson. Jordan?
I'm going to say myself because the shoes with the shackles, I think, are not at all racist.
All right, Jordan?
I think Joel has the same amount of underlying prejudices that any of us have and try to eliminate, or if you're from the Midwest, just suppress
Yes, exactly.
and not talk about.
But the shoes don't have that because they're not people.
No, they're not people. So I'm gonna have to say Joel is more
I agree.
racist.
I think Joel is far more racist than the shoes.
You know what I'm going to say? You know what's racist? I think the fact that people immediately said, oh, these sneakers are going to make people think of slavery because they, I think, are immediately assuming that most of the people wearing these sneakers are going to be black.
Yeah, them's the racist.
I think that in and of itself is racist in a way that they're not necessarily connecting to.
we are operating on a higher plane on this
Yes.
podcast.
Yeah, we win.
Our discourse more sophisticated than Facebook.
That was fun.
Take that one to the
Let's
book.
have dialogues more often.
Yeah, we learned something. We
We
shared.
learned something today.
For you, the listeners of Sports Podcast, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. I personally recommend a wonderful book called The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. Joel saw the movie. He said that it was okay. To download your free audiobook today, go to audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network. Again, that's audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network for your free audiobook. And now it's time for another Weird Sports! Weird Sports.
We didn't mention the weird sport in the intro, did we?
You're goddamn right we didn't.
I'm sorry.
No,
That's
it's
my
okay.
bad.
We've got a weird sport today.
If
in
you're
case you
still
couldn't
listening,
tell.
folks, it's lucky that
I
you
assume most
stood
people
by
got through
us.
the intro and they're like, "There's no weird sport." Click off.
Click.
Or they
Click.
called their friends and go, finally, a sports podcast without that filler in it.
No one would ever have said that.
No,
ever.
never.
What you just described has never happened.
I don't want to live in a world where that happens. Speaking of which, today's weird sport, the pig in Ford races.
The what? The what now?
The pig in Ford races.
In Ford.
Pig-N-Ford races.
Oh, like and.
Pig in Ford.
Pig in Ford.
Okay.
It's like a Swedish word.
This sounds like
the
a
pig in yard.
sounds like
a
a combination farm animal and auto race.
Oh, you got way too close.
Oh, did I?
Now, this is going to be boring now because Joel screwed the pooch.
What? Oh, it was kind of an obvious name.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll go for it. Pig and Ford races are auto racing events staged at the Tillamook County Fair in Tillamook County, Oregon.
Oh man, I've been to Tillamook County. I went to their cheese factory.
For their cheddar.
Yeah.
They got the little
good.
Baby Bell Tillamooks.
If you can go to the Tillamook factory, guys, they have Tillamook cheese curd there. And if
that
you've never,
sounds-
people at home, if you've never had like the cheese curd, which is, it's basically like cheese, but somehow more delicious than cheese.
Yeah, it's like cum.
Yeah.
Have you heard the curd's the word?
Oh yeah, the famous song.
Curd.
Curd is the
Curd's the
word.
word.
Curd.
It's true.
Curd is the word.
Have you heard about the curd, Jordan? Because everyone knows that the curd is the word.
I'm not biting on this family.
All right, there we go. That song was out before Family Guy. The races are run every August during and as the feature of the Tillamook County Fair. Go figure.
This is the grand event.
This is the big event. This is where all the Tillamook County people,
cheese.
they put on shoes one day a year and they scamper off to the Tillamook County Fair to go watch the Pig and Ford races.
Get your shoes on.
They're not gonna have a southern accent in Oregon, guys.
The southern accents are everywhere.
It's okay. All right, fine.
Any place that there's ignorant people. As
Yeah.
a northerner, I assume they talk with a southern accent.
Yeah.
It's true. Drivers used stripped Model T Fords with stock mechanicals.
Oh, I like this.
They're going old school. The Model T. Joel, do you know about the Model T?
I was born in Michigan. Of course I
Very
know about the
early
Model T.
car.
You do a 3-week unit in the Model T in every single grade in elementary
Yeah, I'll
school.
do your
in
3-week
Michigan.
unit. 5 cars are lined up with the engines off at the start line of the Averill Arena horse racing track.
I like the engines off part.
Yep,
I
good.
think you should have to get your car started before.
Yeah,
you
you
can
see
take
where this
off.
is going because the
I
Model
don't think
T.
they got it started with a key back then.
Right, Model T did not have what the Prius has, where you push a button and it says hello. No.
A crank.
Yep, back then they got a crank.
Awesome.
Drivers stand next to the grandstands. When the starter pistol fires, the drivers run to the opposite side of the front straight, grab a live 20-pound pig from a bin.
From the bin.
From a pig
pig
bin.
bin.
Yeah, you know, the pig bins.
Yeah.
You know,
Where they keep them.
I hate it. Everywhere I go, I'm like, what's that smell? Oh, there's a pig bin here.
Oh, jeez.
Terrible. Gets in the way. They grab a 20-pound pig from the pig bin, and then they must hand crank their car and drive it 1 lap.
Is this while holding the pig?
Oh yeah, they got the pig. Can't let the
In
pig
their
go.
arm.
The pig under one arm while you're cranking a Model T in the other.
The old 20-pounder, the 20-pounder pig
I
from the pig
feel
bin.
like this. There's like an origin story to this that is fascinating.
It's got to be about pig napping.
Yeah, like some guy has got the prize pig and he had to escape and he had to crank his Model T to start it and he thought, wow, what I'm doing here I haven't trained for.
Yeah, it's like the movie Taken, only with pigs.
It's exactly
I have a
Yeah.
particular set of skills. Skills that can make things very dangerous for people like you. I can grab pigs in one arm and I can crank a Model T crank in the other.
I can cure bacon.
I will find you and I will
I
kill
can
you.
reconstruct a early 20th century engine.
They then stop once they've done 1 loop. They kill the engine.
Oh, I
Oh,
thought,
man,
I
I really thought
didn't
you were
know
gonna
where you
kill
were
the
going
pig.
there.
They murder a live pig with their bare hands. They eat of its flesh. No, they don't do that.
I didn't have any moral opposition to that. I just
Right.
was going, wow. This is
Hard
pretty
fucking
intense.
core.
Yeah.
You pick up the pig, you get in the car, you do
Yeah.
a lap, you kill the pig.
Yeah, the kids all run out and play in the blood.
Hey, no fair killing the pig before you finish your lap.
That's
I don't
right.
think people haven't tried that one before.
You gotta do your satanic ritual beforehand
Yup.
and then breathe out the pig's last breath. They then stop, kill the engine, get a different pig, and then race another lap. The first driver to complete 3 laps in this manner without losing their pig is the winner.
So there's a chance that this pig might jump out of the car.
Yeah, and then they gotta go chase it.
They gotta stop. Can you chase it in the car before returning to the track?
No,
at the
then you
same
might
point?
hit the pig.
Yeah, I don't know how that would
Well,
work.
again, it seems like if you hit the pig's probably not gonna. You see, I would like to point out loophole in the rules. It does not say at the beginning you can't kill your pig.
Yeah, but Joel, there's children watching.
Yes,
This
but
is
if you
this is a
want
county
to
fair.
win, you slit the pig's throat, and you can be sure that it's not going to jump out.
You know,
of your Model
Joel,
T.
this is just like you in the death pool. You do so much research that it's no fun anymore. It's the same
you
way with
can't
this. You go and
kill-
kill the pig, it ruins the point of the sport.
I'm sure there is a rule that says you cannot kill the pig.
Yeah.
I'm sure it has to be a live pig.
Or I would say that it's entirely possible that in the history of this competition, no one's killed the pig.
Well,
So they don't
speaking
have
of
a rule
history of this
specifically.
competition, the
Okay.
race was first run in 1925. Model Ts were very much a part of the culture then.
Flippers, flappers, and Tin Lizzies.
Yeah, it's true. Thin Lizzy. They would play concerts back then.
No, Tin Lizzy was actually the nickname of the car.
Sure
Model
was.
T.
The official story is that 2 local farmers were chasing a runaway pig in their Model Ts. And they were having so
See?
much fun.
See, they were chasing him in the car, Phil.
Right.
I was right.
That's true. You were right. I'll give that one to you.
Yeah.
They were having so much fun, they decided it should be a race at the next county fair. That's the origin story.
They were
I
drunk.
think there was booze involved.
Yeah.
I think they were not legally allowed to reveal the fact that they were rip-roaring drunk while they did this
Right.
because it was the 20s.
Like, we spent the last 10 years not doing stuff, and this reminded me that there's stuff that can be done, like reasons to drive around after a pig. Let's bring it to the fair. The Pig and Ford race has been run every year since 1925. Drivers belong to the Tillamook County Model T Pig and Ford Association.
Right.
And membership is often a lifelong affair.
Well, I imagine one step down that road.
Yeah, it's like the Skull and Bones.
Yeah.
Once you're in.
You're in
You're
for
in.
life.
I've actually, and that's the thing, a lot of people, they always say Skull and Bones, Freemasons. I'm pretty sure it's the Model T Pig and Ford Association that, in fact, is pulling the strings behind
Yeah.
everything that happens in
Did
this
you know
country.
that the last 12 presidents have been part of the Tillamook County Model T Pig and Ford Association?
Yeah, and I suppose historians will tell you that that's just some sort of coincidence.
Yeah. The eye on top of the pyramid on the back of a dollar bill is really referring to looking at the pigs.
Yep.
and why won't they answer questions about it?
Right.
Yeah.
How come they will never talk about their membership in this society?
Right.
yeah.
We'd all see the tattoos.
They'll say things like the dollar bill was designed prior to 1925. What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah. What the hell are they talking
I would
about?
say, I think I know of a little dollar Sacagawea coin that was
Yeah.
designed very recently.
Yeah.
There's a lot of the pig and Ford
Littered.
imagery on
Yeah.
it.
Littered
a
with
lot.
Model T imagery.
Absolutely.
You got to know what you're looking for, but it's there.
Well, you ask if they're in for life, then how did someone else get in? How do you get young blood? The people from 1925 still can't be
Obviously,
running.
they're
dead.
You kill someone who's already a member.
That's pretty close, actually. Cars and memberships are often passed down through families or sold to close friends. You got to be in with the in crowd in order to do it.
Nepotism.
Very
Yeah.
this
Just
event,
like Hollywood.
This event went from very egalitarian to very elitist.
Yeah.
I thought
This,
at first.
this probably explains why, because at first I was thinking to myself, why hasn't this spread to every single county fair in America? And I think it's because of the elitist nature of the Model T Pig and Ford
Yeah.
Association.
Not enough Model Ts to go around because the top 1% of Model T owners are hoarding them all.
Yeah.
Jeez. Well, some of the cars that ran in 1925 still running today.
God
amazing.
damn.
Well,
That's
yeah,
a
they're
fucking
not making new
American-made
ones.
automobile
Yeah,
right
yeah,
there.
exactly. My first car was a Dodge 800 and it lasted for 3 months.
Yeah, so we're around the 1960s, the American auto industry maybe lost a little steam, but the Model T, a fine fucking piece of machinery.
Right. They built their cranks stronger than they build the cranks on cars nowadays.
Yup.
That's true. Well, that comes to an end. Another Weird Sports!
All right, everyone, that brings us to the close of another Sports podcast. But before we go, we'd like to give you our contact information.
You can email us at sportspodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter at sports3podcast. That's sports, the number 3 podcast. You can find us on Facebook by searching Sports Podcast. The little searchy bar up the top. You can find us on iTunes by searching sports number 3 space podcast. That's sports number 3, all one word, space podcast. You can find us on Stitcher Radio. Download the Stitcher app today at Stitcher.com and search Sports Podcast. While you're on iTunes, leave us a little love. Leave us a comment. Leave us a rating. Say how much you love us. Give us kisses.
Sounded like you were going to start a song at the top. You can
And find us on ComedyPodcastNetwork.com for all our back episodes.
Tune in next week, and we'll have a song for that whole thing. Phil's gonna write it.
Nah, you bastard.
Yep.
Lights off.
You have received this transmission from the Comedy Podcast Network. For more shows, visit comedypodcastnetwork.com.